Coming up next on Wall Street Warriors. I landed a job as a junior currency analyst. I'm really excited. It's a good fit.
What's absolutely unforgivable is to give it back on one stupid, stubborn trade.
I'm in the Dominican Republic right now. Down here to meet with a large potential investor. Not sure exactly what to expect.
We've got a big fish.
He doesn't have a big account with us.
Now we want his real money.
How much US would that be?
930,000.
You do have to be ballsy. That separates the men from the boys.
Pit's filling up right now. I got a minute to go. Got to get in there and hurt somebody.
The past several weeks, we've experienced a significant market correction. There's a lot of problems in the marketplace. There's a lot of people losing large amounts of money and also losing their jobs. A lot of the investment banks out there, they're firing their CEOs. Some banks might even go under altogether. It's definitely having an impact on everything. The markets are down and SanDisk is down.
SanDisk is the majority of our book. Seeing their stock down 20, 30, 40% scares a lot of clients. But there's two ways you can handle that, okay? You can hide under your desk, you can ignore phone calls, or you can take this and use it to your advantage.
So what we've decided to do is, first and foremost, go back and do the homework again. Make sure that everything's correct with SanDisk. Make sure we didn't make any mistakes. And all of our checks came back with A+. We think this sell-off is not merited. We think we're going to have a nice bounce back. So we've been on the phones talking to clients, holding their hand all the way through it, and also building new relationships with new clients. We could probably get a better figure for that. What, you have 100 to 500 million? Okay.
We've taken the past month as an opportunity to get some guys on the phone, explain the story, tell them we're still 110% convinced SanDisk is going higher, and we've tried to add on to our position. Okay, lower our dollar cost average a little bit more. Stock's on sale. There's nothing wrong with it. Fundamentals are still in place. It just got pulled back a little bit with the market. It happens. That's the market. If it went up in a straight line, everybody'd be a broker and we'd all have $1 million. When everybody's playing the trumpet, usually you need to be selling. When everybody's scared and when everybody's laying low is when you usually should be buying. You do have to be ballsy, especially when the market's turned down. That separates the men from the boys.
I landed a job as a junior currency analyst at this company called FXCM. I'm really excited. It's a good fit with my European background.
I want to welcome you to FXCM. This is our headquarters, and we also have offices in Dallas, San Francisco, Hong Kong, China, London. This is very important to remember because DailyFX, which is the research team that you're working with, is geared towards individual investors.
Okay. Since I studied international business, I'm going to get to use that side of my degree to follow political and economic news events and see how they affect exchange rates.
FX stands for foreign exchange. It's the single largest financial market in the world. It trades $3 trillion of capital per day. It trades 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. It responds to big geopolitical events, big economic events, and it's the largest market in the world that nobody's ever heard of.
Part of the reason we did very well was because we did a lot of special reports. In your articles, what we want to do is generate, conversation.
Today we had my first Monday morning meeting. The job is a mix of journalism and technical analysis.
The one that we're going to concentrate on is the Fed rate decision. Will they or they not cut?
I'm going to take the opposite side of that. I think I'm going to take the side that the Fed isn't going to cut.
It was interesting to be there because they're very opinionated people.
If retail sales this week prints halfway decent,
high oil
we have a
prices
bounce.
is the reason. they would need to cut interest rates, is one of the reasons. My name is Kathy Lean, and I'm the chief strategist here at FXCM. Boris and I both manage the research team. Our research website is dailyfx.com.
Our whole staff works on 12, 15 articles a day. Kind of like running a newspaper that never closes. There's an enormous amount of strength. That means a huge amount of capital. That means they're still the buyer of last resort for U.S. Treasuries. Our primary responsibility is to cover the FX markets 24 hours a day and to generate research ideas so that our customers could trade off of them.
The great thing about foreign currencies is that you really only trade 8 currencies. All you have to do is follow 8 countries and compare the performance of each country against each other. It emulates the stock market to some degree, but it's more simplistic.
Hurricane Dean has come and Hurricane Dean is gone. The orange juice market has calmed down. It's had a big sell-off after the last crop report, and the market is trading around 120, which is absolutely perfect for us. I don't like it. What I usually do in the morning is I'll walk around, talk to a couple brokers, see what they think, try to synthesize as much information about today as I possibly can, and digest that before the opening so that I have somewhat of an advantage if I can get that. What do you think this morning? So right now, we're in the worry season for a trader. You'll see all this talk going on, pre-opening, before. Doesn't matter, it means nothing. The game is played in the ring. It doesn't matter if I tell you orange juice is going down. When I walk in the pit and I vote, that's all that matters. Hurricane's a little early for that, but
way too early for weather.
We're gonna vote with real money, and at the end of the day, we're gonna see how we come out on top.
More important is Brazil and the size of their crop.
I think it's gonna open a little bit firmer here. A couple of the brokers said it looks a little bit higher, so you can see the pit's filling up right now. Game on here again. Morning. I got a minute to go. I've got to get in there and hurt somebody. Morning, morning, morning.
I'm in the Dominican Republic right now. I'm here to meet with a potential investor for our fund. I'm meeting with the owner of Sun Village Resorts. Not sure exactly what to expect here, but this is an opportunity to get to know him better and hope to have him see the value in our fund and look to invest in us.
Cuba, DR, Puerto Rico, and then you got the chain islands here, and then you come up into the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos.
Finally captured a segment of his time, which really was the goal in coming up here. Well, so Dominican's not an offshore tax-free haven like Turks is.
Full-blown U.S. tax convention.
It is,
yeah.
Okay. I've been back and forth having small meetings with Derek over the past few months, and this is finally the time to sit down and really get in front of him.
As the Caribbean basin is growing right now, 3.5 hours flight from New York, 2 hours from Miami, 2.5 from Atlanta. It's
over a 2-day period, I'm able to get an hour and a half of his time and really have him focus on our business and allow me to focus on his business, and then hopefully we'll be able to do some business together. Coming up next on Wall Street Warriors.
I think he's right on the edge. He just needs that kick in the ass to get him over.
How much US would that be?
930,000.
You do have to be ballsy. That separates the men from the boys.
One of the things I want to do is try to understand more of the life of one of my clients. So what am I doing wrong? This is what you call business.
So everybody's in unison that we're going to go 139 on the euro this week? Yes? You see 39 before end of the week?
Yeah, I think we'll be pretty bullish for it.
Well, I'm looking at the euro-dollar pair. I'm just going to look at some of the news that came out today to see if it had an effect on how the currency pair traded. I kind of like technical analysis.
With Letitia, we're basically showing her how the market works, what drives fluctuations in the currency market. We're teaching her about how we write and the thought process that happens in our research and analysis. Also, we want to help her become a good trader. It was released because our job here is, we always say that we're traders first and analysts second. We like to put ourselves in the shoes of our clients, and a lot of our research is very trading oriented. So let's go ahead and get started.
Manufacturers rose their price for a 9th month in August. They already rose 0.3% in July. Investment lending also decreased 6.8%. On Bloomberg, they thought that the Bank of Japan would not raise interest rates. And on a yearly basis, it rose 2.6%. What I found was that the decrease was mainly due to expectations of higher interest rates.
Okay, fantastic. So that's the way I want you to think.
Okay.
And so when we do this again tomorrow, what you want to do is look at the currency market reaction.
I rent a house in the Hamptons. It costs me $100,000 for 3 months for a 7-bedroom house. It's nice, but this is way nicer than what the Hamptons is. It's great to be out here in the Dominican Republic to relax a little bit, enjoy. It's great when you can combine business with relaxation a little bit. I've got a couple days to try to understand more of the life of one of my clients. I'm starting to learn a little bit more about his properties.
Everything from the middle of the road over is also land that we've kept. We've sat on this property for years. We've got enough inventory in this location, so now we'll sell off the rest of this. It's gorgeous, isn't it? We're just about to come into Ocean World. Here's the entrance to the park.
Oh, this is neat, the little waterfall thing. No rag tops.
Yeah, exactly.
That keeps the little scooters out.
The best way to do it is to leave here at dusk, have cocktail and dinner prepared on the yacht on the way over, go to bed, and you wake up and you're at some deserted island.
That's awesome. Derek wanted us to get a different perspective of the island, so he took us out on his boat.
Come on aboard, Brett.
It's a beautiful boat, goes somewhere around 35 knots. This is definitely not a bad way to spend a Saturday in November. So what am I doing wrong? This is what you call business. One of the things I want to do is learn more about my client's assets, what he has here, what's important to him, to try to find ways that I can actually add value to his business. We really feel that we have the breadth and gamut of understanding to help a business in any capacity they need it. We have everything in-house. This was finally a time where there are no distractions around. A great opportunity to really sit and discuss his business, my business. We invest in everything we're doing, so we are heavily aligned and have a lot of skin in the game.
That's what I really like, is the fact that you guys are personally vested in the project. It's not a fund where there's just a fund manager sitting there
collecting fees,
rolling products in and collecting fees.
What are you spending price? 7 1/4, 6 1/2, 7 1/4. 1 1/2. 140. 120 bid. 120 40. Nope, 64.
Jam 170 call. 120.
And 120.
I've been on the American Stock Exchange as well as the New York Board of Trade. I've been basically trading for 18 years, my entire career.
You come here when you're young and you clerk for somebody. You learn how to trade from your trader that you're clerking for. I did that for a while. I made enough money so that I went out on my own. I would say half the people down here back themselves. It's my money. If I lose it, it's my money.
Not a lot of representatives of large firms. I guess the risk of blowing out is too big. Most people who come here lose their money and go away. What you see here are the survivors.
Yeah, on the day, 38 to 50 is the range. It's kind of a weird atmosphere now because the stock market has been bobbling around. We had a relatively neutral and unfriendly report that was released this morning. Hey! 50 more! There's more cotton in the world than we had expected, and yet today we've rallied. So a lot of people are a little bewildered. They kind of thought we would sell off 100 points. Instead, we actually rallied 100 points.
120, 150. We have a pretty big rally going on in other commodities right now. Cotton, all the grains are up pretty substantially. So, maybe getting a spillover effect here. We're positioned well here. This is absolutely perfect for us.
What's that? We've got a guy, he's a big fish, you know what I mean? He's one of the heavy hitters that we like to have in the book.
What we're going to do today is we'll get him back on the phone. We've had several conversations with him. He's one of our larger clients overseas. He doesn't have a big account with us, but he's capable of a very large account.
He owns 5,000 shares of SanDisk, $250,000 of his money. That's a drop in the Atlantic to a guy like this. Now we want his real money.
We'll try to bring him up to somewhere around 30,000 shares. It'll be about a $1 million investment.
We haven't pitched him 20 different ideas. We've stuck with one main story, SanDisk. He likes the company. I think he's right on the edge. He just needs that little kick in the ass to get him over.
If we did get the trade, it'd be great for our group. Another $1 million under management, another 25,000 shares of the stock. We'll be very happy to have that. Especially at times like these, when we're getting beat up in the market, to have a good day really helps. Because being a stockbroker, it's all peaks and valleys, and certainly right now it's a valley. Hello, Michael?
Speaking.
Michael, how are you?
Hey, boys. I'm great, thanks.
Just looking to touch base with you real quick. I know we had numerous conversations about SanDisk. We're trading around 37 right now. I know you're not too happy with that. We're down about 15%. But obviously, with the market correction, it's given us a great opportunity to step back in and buy some shares at a cheap level.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't had much time. I've actually got Nigel with me.
I think Jim had a brief conversation with Nigel.
How you doing, Nigel?
All right, mate.
Good to hear. Last time we spoke, we were talking about trimming it down to 25,000 shares. You'd be looking at the cash outlay right about 930,000.
Just a touch under $1 million.
Okay.
With commissions and everything.
Okay.
Nigel, you're a technical guy. This chart looks like a slingshot pointed at the moon right now.
I don't disagree.
I didn't think you would, Nigel.
So you're thinking maybe 90 days on this one, boys?
We could be out of half the position as early as 3 weeks. The rest we want you to hold on for 90 days.
Can I just put you on hold 1 second?
Go ahead.
How much US would that be?
Just a touch under $1 million.
Can I just put you on hold 1 second?
Go ahead.
Sound pretty confident about this one.
Absolutely. We couldn't be more confident. We wouldn't have you on the phone if that wasn't the case.
You know, Mike, give us a shot at your real money here. And 90 days from now, if you still don't like what we have to offer and we haven't proven ourselves to you, we'll talk about sending you some money back. But, you know, $1 million to you with your $200 million net worth is really a drop in the Atlantic. All right, so...
Okay, let's do the 25 today. Give me 7 days to get the wire over because I'm out of the country tomorrow. So I will get the wire out next week, okay?
Okay, perfect. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Enjoy your trip.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Mike.
Okay.
Goodbye.
Perfect.
Well done, Mike.
Yep. All right.
So that's Mike, probably the largest guy we have in our book right now. We've been working on for quite a while, and he finally settled on just doing just a touch under $1 million. So.
I don't know what it is about that guy, and this doesn't usually happen, but he seems to like us. You know, it just makes doing business that much easier. Yeah. I don't know if he gets a kick out of the fact that we're aggressive with him or what it is.
The accent, I don't know what it is.
But he's always been pretty easy on us. You know, his stock's down and he's buying more. So.
You know, we make him some money. Who knows what's after this? You know, because he's got a $200 million net worth. He gets us $1 million. It's a small token, but you know, we make him 30-40% here. Who knows? Maybe next time it's 10 million. So we'll work our way up, one foot in front of the other.
With the yen, had a pretty good rally in oranges today. We were able to sell some call spreads, which really fits our position well. No, go switch back to here. After the last down move, we were able to clean it up, make the money back that we lost, and now we're way ahead on that. You're up 8 ticks. It's been a pretty fun ride watching this thing dropping from $1.80 down to $1.10.
38.45. This morning got a little bit crazy. They didn't think that as much cotton was going to show up on this report. The first knee-jerk reaction was, oh, we got to sell this market. And that happened this morning, but then it sort of worked its way back up. 67 strength. The market's rallied. I think we have to attribute it somewhat to the outside grain markets.
What did you do with her? You sat down with her?
We went over the some of the indicators that came out, like numbers that came out. Yeah. So. Yeah, we just talked about their significance.
Okay. Well, our plan with you is to make sure that, one, you understand basically how these things operate, what moves these things up and down, how they trade. And the most important thing that I really wanted to do is to make sure that every time you had a trade idea, you were doing it for a reason. It's very important to make sure that you at least have a rational, reasonable approach, even if it's completely wrong. I've seen a few accounts literally have taken $10,000 and ran it up to millions of dollars. But I've seen hundreds more cases where they've taken $1 million and run it down into 10,000. It's a business really of being wrong. Woody Allen had this great quote. He said, 90% of life is just showing up, and 90% of trading is just staying alive until you catch the 1, 2, 3 good trades that really make it worthwhile for you. Never be afraid about losing money small. What's absolutely unforgivable is to have 5, 6, 7 winners in a row and then give it all back on one stupid, stubborn trade. Markets never make it easy for you to make money.
All they want is a good, stable return on their money, transparency, good management, good accounting, good reporting. insurance companies. Other than that, the only other type of investors I want are strategic people. People that we can help their business and they can help our business, and we just work together growing the funds. I knew I had him really focused when he started asking some very pointed questions about my business.
Now, what about your management team? Tell me a little bit about that.
That's one of the things I pride ourselves on, because at the end of the day, that's what builds our business. As he learned more about what my business was, as I'd hoped, he came up with a lot of ideas of how we can actually work together. And the way we've been expanding with getting into founding some de novo banks, some traditional commercial banks, really can create some good synergies. If you need bank financing, we can help you. If you need private equity capital, we can help you. So it's interesting how we can sort of work back and forth within assets that we have either control or a strong influence over.
Is there a general placement figure that you guys look for?
At the end of all the meetings, I think he was really excited in some of the banking work that we do.
How much you would invest in a company?
Sure. And that's what business is always about to me. You need to find something actionable. You can talk about different opportunities forever, but until you have that first actionable step, it's hard to really take off.
Just on some of the points that we've spoken about today, it's very clear that there's going to be several parallels that we're going to be able to work with into the future.
The key is, I think, at the end of all this, that we have that first actionable step. There's something he's excited about, and we have a follow-up timeline looking to have him come into an investment opportunity with us within the next 2 weeks.
And we're certainly looking forward to working with you.
Definitely. Pleasure, Derek.
You lowball him, dude.
You would say
totally
that.
took the easy way out. Did he not, Garrett? So anytime we have something good happen in our favor, a nice trade, we do a nice bit of commission for the day. We always like to go out, unwind a little bit, maybe a couple beers. My mom could have got $1 million out of him.
I'll tell you what, I get deals done. You guys talk about what you could have, should have done.
I'll tell you what, Big Shot, why don't you get the beers then? Since you're getting done.
All right, boys, good job today. Yeah. We need about 5 more of those this month, and bad market be damned, we'll make some money this year.
Right.
We're always trying to add high net wealth individuals to our book. A lot of times we'll be dealing with smaller guys, maybe they'll send in 100,000 here, 100,000 there. So when you actually get a guy to send in $1 million on one trade, on one phone conversation, it's not just relieving, but it's a sales euphoria. It's a sales job in a way. Peaks and valleys, man. Definitely in the valley right now. Yeah. You can make it back to a peak, we'll be in good shape. There's lots of days where it's tough, where Sandus is down or whatever stock we're in is down. You gotta enjoy the good times, that's for damn sure.
He was the first broker on the New York Rubber Exchange in 1880.
They're real people. They're bottom feeders. That's the only reason I come down here, not for the money, it's a camaraderie.
These are a couple of our account openers. They get to bickering and arguing and talking and laughing and cutting up. So I was like, Jesus, you guys are worse than Bert and Ernie. And then I kind of looked at them, and they kind of look like Bert and Ernie. And you guys can clearly see there's a lot of resemblances here between these two guys and Bert and Ernie.
Coming up next on Wall Street Warriors.
We have the USDA crop report coming out. We stand to make multi-millions. We expect to see the market fall. If it doesn't happen, well, you're going to see me carry it out on a stretcher probably.
Obviously, over the past week, we've had quite a dramatic pullback in the market. It's actually probably the worst 4 or 5 days in a long while. Yeah, we've been getting pissed on recently.
So I'm going live today, which means I'm going to be trading with your own money.
Having introduced Letitia to this game, we've really gotten the bug into her. She's becoming a market junkie.
Yeah, stop.
Hello, Richard. Hey, it's Jim. I want to touch base with you on SanDisk. I'm sure you've been reading the papers. There's been a lot of down days with regards to the NASDAQ, the Dow, and of course our position with SanDisk. The last couple of days and weeks, there's been a lot of volatility in the market. Most of it's due to the credit crunch. There's still large banks out there coming out and announcing they have huge losses on their books. It's been scaring the markets and it's been scaring investors. I'm sure you've been reading the Wall Street Journal and been seeing the news. There has been a lot of volatility in the market. We do expect that to continue until not just are the market's down, the weather's bad, but also have a cold. So this will be very interesting talking to these guys. They'll probably think I'm on my deathbed here. Yeah, I've got a bit of a cold. But there's a big difference between a broker that sticks his head in the sand and doesn't talk to his clients when things are going bad, and someone that picks up the phone and speaks with them.
Rob, your favorite broker on Wall Street. What's going on, bud? Obviously, over the past week, we've had quite a dramatic pullback in the market. It's actually probably the worst 4 or 5 days in a long while on Wall Street. So we've been kind of dealing with that and kind of getting people on the phone and reassuring them that everything's going to be okay and let them know kind of what our plan is and what our target goal is. Yeah, I know you're not thrilled with the performance, and I'll be the first one to stand tall and take the blame for that. Yeah, we've been getting pissed on recently. So, what I want to do is just reassure you that no one's lost any confidence around here. I've been wrong in the short term. Obviously, want to keep this thing on the table a little bit longer, and the time frame's extended itself probably till June. Next time we get a pop, I'm probably going to take a lot of the position off the table, book you some profits, and wait for another pullback.
We saw on that indicator that there was about
FXCM is one of the largest retail broker-dealers in the foreign exchange currency market, which just blew up over the last 4 or 5 years. Before this, foreign exchange was strictly the domain of hedge funds, banks, big broker-dealers like Goldman Sachs, and all the other big boys. With the advent of the internet, we brought in this whole new class of traders from the retail side to the point now where they are between 10 and 20% of the market.
I've been on the demo for a week now. It's been going pretty well. I made some mistakes. I think my main problem is more emotional. It's not so much which trades I get into, but I need to get a little bit more emotionally detached. I'm going to be meeting with Boris in a little bit. We're going to go over some of the trades I made on the demo, just to go over some of my mistakes, some of the things I did that were good.
I don't care. I can't believe you don't have a stop. This thing could move 100 points, 200 points against you in a blink of an eye. You're going into this thing without a stop? Letitia is a very capable student. She makes mistakes like everybody else, but the great thing about her, which is a good sign of any good trader, is willingness to adapt and improve. But remember, a number one rule of trading is once you are in profit, you don't give the profit back, right?
Well, I traded down about 100 pips, so I figured I might as well get out now to minimize my losses.
With Leticia, first we had her learn the mechanics of what drives this market, and she's very, very good at that. Then we put her on a demo account. And now she's finally ready to trade real money. We'll see how well she does. Big day today, huh? Yeah. Money on the line. First time we're going to trade, and you couldn't have chosen a better day. Today is a huge day in the foreign currency markets because today is the Fed interest rate decision meeting. So the markets are waiting with bated breath to find out exactly how much the Fed is going to lower rates.
The question is more if they're going to cut the interest rates by 25 basis points or by 50. It's going to be a really market-moving announcement. There's potential to make a lot of money, to lose a lot of money as well. I've been on demo programs for weeks, if not months. This afternoon, I'm actually going to trade money. So to me, it's going to be a really important day.
We have the USDA crop report coming out, which comes out once a year, and it's a critical number. It's going to tell us what the estimate is for next year's crop. No, it's not. Nobody knows the number. Billions of dollars have been bet on this number. It's basically the culmination of the entire year. This number is make or break for us. The market was very, very jittery. We have set up a bearish position. We expect to see the market fall. If that happens, we stand to make multi-millions. If it doesn't happen, well, you're going to see me carry it out on a stretcher probably. No, we're going to get you over 2.5, 2.5, 4.5 on your point. At 4.5 on your point. 650 300.
We've opened dramatically lower. There's terror in the air.
35 bid! Today is the crop report. People are going to probably be shoring up their positions, making sure they're going into what could be an upsetting day with a position they're comfortable with. There's no telling. If we all had a crystal ball and we knew how the day was going to be, then we wouldn't be here anymore. We'd be retired on a beach.
Seconds to read this article is very important for you.
Seriously?
Murph, what'd you say? Did I lie to you?
No. We've got some cross currents going on between dry weather and Brazil. The market has been exploding in the last week and a half. We're scratching our heads. We don't really understand why. We're not here to fight the market or anything like that. But the fact is, the market can remain illogical a lot longer than I can remain solvent for. It's been a long couple days, very little sleep. We have set up our positions, and we're about to find out if we're right or wrong.
Hi, Brett Hickey here to meet with Bob. I went down to the NASDAQ to meet with a friend of mine who runs the Canadian markets and meet with one of the senior vice presidents who runs the global markets as well.
Welcome to NASDAQ, where efficiency and transparency ensure fair market.
Some of our portfolio companies trade on the OTC or over-the-counter network, and I want to see what the differences are being on the NASDAQ and what the minimum requirements are.
Trades take place on average of 7 seconds or less.
The NASDAQ is a stock exchange. It's a digital stock exchange. They help you get compliant. They help you with regulation. All the different things that are required to be a public company, they help serve you. Hey, how are you, Jordan?
Good to see you, Brett.
Good to see you.
Glad you can make it.
Thanks.
To Bob McCooey.
Hey, I'm Bob. Brett Hickey.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Today is an educational opportunity to meet with Bob McCooey, who's the Senior Vice President of Capital Markets, and Jordan Sachs, who is in charge of business development for Canadian clients for the NASDAQ.
Let's go on a little tour.
They took me through the entire building, met with all their different divisions and floors.
These fellows work on what we refer to as the market intelligence desk.
Learned a lot about what they provide for services, met with the people that actually provide support to the companies to really put things into basic English for a lot of the senior executives as to what's going on in the market and why.
You know, they want to have all the details. So whether it's the general counsel or the CFO, or in this case it's the IRO who's doing the intelligence gathering.
Learned a lot about how they help companies get publicity, get promotions. Some of our banks actually might keep private for now and then look to bring them to the NASDAQ to promote some additional liquidity. It's interesting because as you're talking about it, you can just see it. You see everybody go by in Times Square. It's really a great publicity medium in itself. You know, being able to get to the NASDAQ for a small bank would be a real differentiating factor. So as we're growing some of our small banks, you know, that's one of the things I wanted to find out about today is what are the minimum thresholds to get onto the NASDAQ.
Let's walk in and we could sit down and talk some more specifically about some of your questions.
Coming up next on Wall Street Warriors.
Markets rallied here. We got to sell stuff at such high prices that all that stuff is just absolutely collapsing. Come and relax.
Went down to the NASDAQ's media room where they actually do the closing bell.
No 1.25 foot.
We are very, very quiet right now as we all await.
You know, usually report days, either they get really busy because people precede the news with getting in or getting out of a position, or you could just sit there and be completely dormant for the entire day waiting for the news. I don't know how it's going to be today. It doesn't look like, if you look around the pit, nobody looks like they're checking numbers and looking up at the board, and we're basically unchanged right now.
Hey, Jan, 30 foot.
Market's rallying up here a little bit. Trade just came in and bought some upside calls. Some people are bullish, some people are bearish. Waiting for this number. You got betting on both sides of this thing. What?
Uh-oh. Hey.
Trading, Larry. Bye. I'm going to head in there. We're going to be very busy here, and then we got the report coming out any minute.
All right, guys, so I just want to have a quick little year-end chat with you, go over what happened this past year. And
myself, Jimmy, Garrett and Buck are kind of have a sit down, a little powwow.
It's only natural, it's the end of the year to get together and to discuss last year, what worked out well, what didn't work so good, all that type of stuff, any kind of constructive criticism he has.
Account-wise, you guys have killed it again. You've opened up a ton of accounts. I know that the whole SanDisk thing turned out to be a thorn in our sides. We've all gone through it. In all the years I've been doing this, I've taken a couple hits, and it tends to take the wind out of your sails a little bit.
Hindsight being crystal clear, we would have sold SanDisk at 58, 60 bucks, took profits, and ran. Obviously, it didn't work out as a fairy tale. We were looking out for the client's best interest. At the end of the day, we could easily sold it, racked up a bunch of commission, and moved on, but we were trying to hit the ball at the park.
What do you guys think you need to improve on?
Probably diversify ourselves a little bit better. We definitely put all our eggs in one basket with SanDisk, and with regards to SanDisk, we have a lot of clients in it, and a lot of good guys, so we continue to do our homework and make sure that's a good investment. A lot of these guys are long-term, so they're going to be happy when that stock works out. Going forward, the new accounts, maybe branch out, have some more other exposure.
And we'll get back to basics, and that's me and Jimmy getting back on the phones, and especially me, and bringing in new business, and Jimmy raising new money, and me and Garrett going toe-to-toe and opening accounts. And I know what I plan to do, and that's just get back to being focused on one thing, and that's the fundamentals of this business. It's getting leads, it's opening accounts, it's getting new business, it's raising money. I've got to get back to opening 10, 12 accounts a month, and that's just hard work. That's just picking up the phone, making dials, and pitching all day.
Keep pounding the tables, guys. That's all I can tell you. You're doing everything
We
right.
probably won't get stuck in a stock like this again. We'll probably try to do things a little bit differently, but at the end of the day, we're still going to try to make our clients as much money as possible.
Going forward, new business, new business, new business, and if you guys keep on pressing, obviously the numbers will eventually fall in our favor, and luck will come our way.
In this case, you could trail more
So I'm going live today, which means that I won't be trading on the demo anymore, and I'm going to be trading with real money. I think it's a pretty good day to go live, since this afternoon the Fed will be announcing whether they're cutting interest rates or not, and by how much.
There's a lot riding on this because the market has a 50-50 bet essentially on whether they're going to cut interest rates by 25 basis points or 50 basis points.
I don't want to get into some crazy trade without having a thought-out plan beforehand.
The countdown begins, right? Ooh, they deliver a half-point cut. Wow. 50 basis points to 5.25%. So they're definitely being very proactive.
So I was actually long the year since the morning, but as soon as the announcement came out, I saw my P&L go up, flash up, up, up. And then I decided to get long the pound, and those two currencies just skyrocketed. So at the peak, I was up like $1,600, $1,700. That's within like, I don't know, 3 minutes.
It's exciting, isn't it? You're in the money, right? Are you trailing your stop?
Yeah. I started seeing a reversal, and I told myself, I can't lose this money I just made. So I got out. I got in here, got out here, and then because I saw it started reversing and trading the other way. I actually do really like foreign exchange. I love the fact that it combines fundamental and technical analysis. You get to learn about the politics and economics of different countries. It just feels very open to the world, which is something that I really like.
Having introduced Letitia to this game, we've really gotten the bug into her. I already see the glint in her eye. She's becoming a market junkie.
I managed to keep about $1,200, which, I mean, to me, to make $1,200 in 4 minutes is pretty incredible.
It's really one of the major reasons you become a public company. It's really important to be able to tell their story, and we want to help them tell their story.
I sat down with Bob and Jordan to learn some more specific details of what it takes for a company to go public on the NASDAQ and how it could apply to some of the companies that we have right now that we're invested in. What are the minimum thresholds for, let's say, a small commercial bank to get onto the NASDAQ?
There's a number of different criteria in terms of amount of equity that's inherent in the business, the earnings, making sure you meet corporate governance. We think it's very important to help companies moving from being private to being public and all the way through the life cycle of being a public company.
In today's world, with the benefits that the NASDAQ's providing, especially for a private equity fund like ours, being able to have good market data everywhere at your fingertips on all the companies that we're invested in is very valuable.
Yeah, one of the great things about NASDAQ is you'd be in the company of the vast majority of the regional and small community banks, since that's really the home of NASDAQ. About almost 25% of our companies are financials.
The number came out, it's a little bit lower than the market had expected. Markets rallied here. Not so bad for us, it's okay, because we got to sell stuff at such high prices that all that stuff is just absolutely collapsing in.
So this validated what we had been looking for in our forecast for oranges. And our fund ended up having a very good year.
There's a few clients in the cotton business that'll just say, buy them. You don't even have to say how many. That means buy them. It's one of those trades that everybody wants a piece of. There'll be guys screaming, sold 500, sold 500, sold another 500. So you'll rack up huge volume. And a big order, you make big commission on. That's the way it works.
It's been an exhausting couple of weeks, an exhausting year, but the crop's a little bit smaller than expected. We'll see how the Brazilian crop straightens out for next year. All in all, a pretty decent day.
Why don't we go in the studio and we can just show you a little about how that works.
There we go, this is it. Went down to the NASDAQ's media room where they actually do the closing bell and close out the stock market for the day. It's a signing, so one day hopefully this will be live. In the future, my hope is to continue to build our firm. We recently opened an office in Dallas. Our business has really grown, so I'm going to continue to be focused on finding good companies, increasing our deal flow, raising additional capital. Good. It's been about 4 years since I started this business, and it's great to look back and see what we've accomplished. When I left investment banking, a lot of people thought I was crazy. 26 years old, starting a private equity and venture capital firm, investing in these companies at my age. I took a risk. I borrowed money from friends to live and start this company, and we've become what I would now call finally a success story. We have $100 million under management. We've done it. People really can take the entrepreneurial route and make it. You can take the risk and it pays off. At the end of the day, look, I'm a guy from a small town in Canada, grew up with a dad as a high school teacher, and this is the American dream. The opportunities ahead in the world of private equity are really endless. You can do anything. You just have to be very focused, you commit to it, and you get it done. And that's what we set out to do. So I love the business, and hopefully it'll be good things to come.
So crop numbers behind us, and our fund ended up having a very good year. It gives me a chance now to take a well-needed break, and then I start over next year trying to figure out where the orange juice market is headed. Our fund is now over $50 million under management and growing. Tonight's going to be a great night. It's my 40th birthday. We're going to a club in the city. I invited everybody from the floor.
We're going to 4 o'clock in the morning, everybody. Love you all.
I have had such a fortunate Wall Street career. I think I always have some involvement with markets. It is that kind of job. It is all-consuming at all times.
The floor is a very different place. I'm not working in the kind of environment that most would equate Wall Street with. You don't have to be a stuffed shirt to work down there. Everybody's just a little bit more down to earth and a little bit more accepting of everybody else. It's a different place than Wall Street. So as long as I have it, I'll keep going there.
It's been a little tough, adjusting to professional life. It's a big change from life at NYU. So at this point, I just don't know if I'm ready to settle down for this specific job or if there's other fields that I do want to explore. When I look back, the past 6 months since graduation, I learned a lot and I was offered a lot of opportunities. I met some amazing people, very successful, but, they've worked extremely hard to get to where they are today. Everyone on Wall Street wants to succeed. They're hungry, they want more always, and you have to be very ambitious. Something that's become obvious to me, things are not going to be given to you and you have to fight for it. Any job on Wall Street, it's crazy hours, you have to sacrifice a lot, and I just don't know if I'm ready to make that sacrifice yet.
When I look back at my last 3 years on Wall Street, I'm certainly happy I made the decision to come up from Jacksonville. I feel like I probably got more opportunities here to make business relationships that will service me for my entire career.
I think I'm a lot wiser, This punch in the gut is going to be a lesson learned down the road. I'll never turn my back on it. I still think it's going to work out. We gave it a short amount of time, 6 months, we thought our hopes and dreams were going to come true, and it didn't. But, we battled through it. I love Wall Street. There's nothing I'd rather be doing, and I plan on doing this for a while.
can't afford a jet for 10 million. I need 100 million.
Oh, yeah. Little Wall Street warrior for you, buddy? Huh? How cool is that?
3 dates. 3 dates in a row.
3 days.
3 dates in a row with 3 different girls.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They were all 6.5, 7s, ranging from a 6 to a 7.
Oh no. I hope this dries.